Greetings and a very warm welcome back. We're moving into round 4 of Artifact Cup number 40, and just to recap, the Artifact Cup is now a round-robin format, so all these players get the opportunity to play each other. And anyway, let's, without further ado, move forward to introduce these two players. Spawning in the south here, playing as the sort of pinky-purple Knaf. It is going to be Melody H. And spawning in the north, playing as the blue and orange coalition forces, it is going to be Nony. I'm just going to call you Nony. Sorry, mate. Nony, quite hard to pronounce rapidly on the fly. Anyway, so a bit of a mix-up here, slightly larger map, and also, yay, we've got Knaf. Yes, first time I've cast Knaf in many months. Knaf pretty much my favourite faction because they can just do some really awkward stuff. You get fun tools like blast drones and cruise missiles from your carrier, and like that's just married into like the totally awesome spine of units that you get from Galzian. Like, personally speaking, I couldn't play Deserts of Karak without Sand Skimmers, just because Sand Skimmers are life. They're just so cool. How can you play this game without Sand Skimmers? It's rough. It is a tough game to play without Sand Skimmers. But anyway, looks like Nony does not share my sentiments on that one. He's going to be picking Coalition. Anyway, probably going to be macro openings from both these players based on the size of the map. Looks like a blast drone already out. Going to be guarding this base runner here from Melody, so he's going to try and grab an artifact and make off with that pretty much immediately. Was the base runner retired? Wow, Melody going to go for an early retire on his base runner. That is very interesting. He's making LAVs. Well, keep an eye on the production tab here. Chance here that Nony's going to be up to something interesting. Meanwhile, Melody, going to be going for production cruiser refinery mode. This is like totes a macro opening, so he is not going to be trying to pull the carpet out from under his opponent super early. Wow, this is a super macro map, isn't it? The carrier starts off with like 2 resource patches. That's crazy, and then there are like so many others like right next door. Absolute madness. Wow, you can bank all the money on this map. Anyway, here come the LAVs moving out across the map now, so, I mean, we're up to 4 now, and Nony's still continuing to produce them, so Nony, pretty determined here, wants to make something of it. 2 blast drones now garrisoning this base runner. The artifact has been grabbed, so Nony will be aware of its location, and we will have to see. Has Sandskimmer Fab even started yet? Oh my... Wow. Okay, Melody is going for Power Reserve 1, like before Sandskimmer. That was started before Sandskimmer Fab. Wow. I mean, I haven't cast for a while, so I'm not super up to date with the meta, but that's unusual. That's just... What are you doing? When do you ever go for Power Reserve 1 this early? Well, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm actually not clever enough to figure out what's going on here. I feel like I should... I feel like I should know. Was that a misclick? Did he mean to click on fleet cap? If he meant to click, because he was supply box for a little bit there, if he meant to click on supply, on fleet capacity 45 instead of power reserve, that would hurt. that would be really annoying, but well, we'll just have to wait and see. Looks like 6, the number of LEVs going to be produced here by Nony, and then he's completed AAV research and is now producing those AAVs. You can see the little globule here. Is that the AAV module on the carrier? I'm sure it's this thing, right? So, ooh. Okay, what's this one? Is that rail tech? I think that's railgun tech. Not sure. Man, I'm so rusty at casting Deserts of Karak. It's been so long. But anyway, here come the LAVs, and right now there's basically nothing in position here for Melody to defend with. I mean, he's going to use his carrier, of course, and lucky for him, he does actually have power level 1, so he's going to have like 2 chips of power that he can spend here to defend. We'll have to see what... Whoa, focusing the production cruiser. Okay, that is a mistake. There is no way that 6 LAVs is going to get a production cruiser. No way. So all this damage that you see on the production cruiser, you know, that's like nearly 2,000 damage. Okay, against a production cruiser, but still. That could have been put onto salvagers or like any other unit. I mean, that was literally 6 LAVs, I think, given away for nothing. Did any salvagers go down? Nope, no salvagers went down. So, okay, a little bit of a... I'm gonna call that a mistake, because I mean, unless he's gonna make something of it later, but I'm pretty sure that was a mistake there from Nony. Typically, if you come in with 6 LAVs, I don't think there's anything wrong with the attack necessarily. If you see that your opponent has nothing and you have 6 LAVs, then you can definitely get some value by moving in, forcing your opponent. I mean, this is value. These salvagers have not been working. Every second these salvagers spend getting back to their resource patch and, you know, being chased away and not mining, that is value that those 6 LAVs got. But you can get that value by and still pull back the wounded LAVs and not lose all 6 of them, and also by focusing your fire on the salvagers instead of on the on the production cruiser, sorry, then you can get additional value. So those are just a couple of observations there. Wow, he is serious. 8 LAVs gonna meet on up with 2 AAVs and look to make something happen. Now, worth pointing out here that Melody has secured himself an Artifact, so he leads 1-0 at the moment. The base runner definitely was retired here for Nony, so no Artifact's going to be grabbed. But there are just 4 blast drones like guarding this base runner. I've not ever seen this either. Usually, if you go to 4 blast drones this early, like, I mean, you just sneak them on around the back and then, like, I don't know, split 2 here, or like 2 here, 2 here, and just try and get some like salvager kills, and that puts you pretty far ahead. I mean, that's the meta that I'm used to. That's what I have seen in the past, and as a Knef player, it's something I do take a very special joy in doing. Like, there's something really just kind of makes me happy about blast drones just sneaking on into salvagers, and your opponent's just totally looking somewhere else, and there's no defensive units, and it's just like boom. And yeah, that's just, I think all Knef players, like, we all relate on that one. There's a warm feeling about blast drones hitting salvagers. Anyway, looks like some pretty good macro here coming out of Melody. He's up to 3 mining locations. He was up there pretty quick. Double production cruiser, going to be pumping out units, and he's kind of like spacing his units around his production cruisers. I believe those are just not rallied. So yeah, they are literally just on guard on the production cruisers, which I guess is okay. Does mean the carrier is a bit undefended. You probably want to split like 4 of them over here, because, like, you know, the carrier's on the end of the line, so it's very likely that the attack is going to hit like from here or here. So you want to have this position and this position garrisoned, rather than having troops or, you know, units garrisoning this middle production cruiser. Anyway, here comes the attack. 8 sand skimmers, 8 LAVs, 2 armored assault vehicles, going to be moving on in here, putting some pressure on. Picks up one of the salvagers pretty quickly, so that's very nice there for Nony. And let's just quickly check the tech here. Wow, air tech is going to be coming up here for Melody, so that's pretty cool. And these salvagers are exposed. A little bit of focus fire off of the LAVs could do damage. Okay, looks like he's going to go for the sand skimmers first. Nothing particularly wrong with that. Now the AAVs are going to start targeting the salvager. You probably want to move these AAVs because I believe players with more experience and skill might want to correct me on this, but do the AAVs take slightly less damage from the carrier's missile if they're moving? Like, slightly less? I think I'm making that up, actually. Anyway, so this attack gets cleaned up here. Honestly, I'm not convinced it was worth it. Most of these attacking units kind of sat under the, or within the fire arc of the carrier for quite a long time there, and the carrier is just, like, reasonably efficient at dealing with, like, units at this stage in the game, so I think like two salvagers were taken out and a handful of sand skimmers were destroyed here. So, you know, Melody did take some losses there, but nothing he isn't super happy with. Wow, Nony has teched into assault cruisers. This is so unusual, and he's just got units just stacking on up here. This is like not the greatest position, by the way. Just if you want to produce railguns and use them defensively, that's totally up to you. But if you are, position them on top of the sand dunes, because right here they actually can't see anything. Can I wish I could bring up like a line of sight checker. Oh well, can I? What if I? No, I can't. Well, anyway, so these railguns can't see over the sand dunes here. So if you just position one railgun here, one railgun here, or even you could put it here, and then it can like fire over these sand dunes. That's going to mean that those railguns like control this area here, which is much better than just controlling this tiny little puddle here. So just like a note on railgun positioning for defense there, I suppose. So anyway, support cruisers are out. The macro operations of both these players well underway. Looks like Melody here with 2 artifacts, looking to grab a 3rd. And standing in good stead in this game. Let's just check his carrier. Oh, he's up to 6 interceptors already. Wow. Ooh, okay, so he does have that card up his sleeve ready to play. The assault cruisers, plural. That's 3 assault cruisers. What? This game is crazy. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Like this punt, this cast, like the last, also a bit of a punt. I've never heard of either of these players, so no idea what kind of game to expect from them. Safe to say, from the way the game has opened and the sort of the way the game has looked so far, these players kind of relatively new and feeling their way out in Deserts of Karak, which is like nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. To be honest, in terms of skill level, I myself am actually not super high either. But that's why this game looks a little unusual. I mean, it's like not every game of Deserts of Karak you see like triple assault cruiser come out at this kind of timing. and what the? There's like 6 blast drones just guarding this base runner. This is some just unusual stuff to say the least. Blast drones are awesome, but they are typically used in very specific ways. And like, to be honest, for guarding a base runner, they're probably worse than sand skimmers because they can only get used once and then they're gone, and they're not even effective against a great variety of targets anyway. Anyway, here comes some interceptors. So Melody gonna show his hand here, gonna reveal the air tech. Wow, gets shut down. Looks like anti-air research is actually finished for these support cruisers, so they just say no. 2 interceptors go down. One of them crazy bouncing. Look at this thing. Whoa! Physics for the win. That was crazy. But yeah, 2 interceptors get shot down for nearly no value. I don't think they even picked off a salvager, so that's kind of unlucky, I suppose, for Melody. Nothing wrong with poking in there with a few interceptors. I suppose if you want to be really cool, what you can do is grab the carrier, rally out 3 interceptors to here, grab one of them, send it in as a test to see if your opponent has support cruiser anti-air, and then when you see the anti-air missiles, you only lose 1 interceptor. So I guess if you're going to be sending out interceptors at this kind of timing in the game, you might want to just check and see if those support cruisers have anti-air, because as we've seen, the anti-air is really quite potent. Okay, this is a dangerous army, and Nony is being really sneaky with it as well. I think his plan is, seeing that his opponent is up 3 artifacts and looking to grab more, I think what Nony wants to do here is like garrison the extraction zone. How many resources? Ready for orders. Ooh. Okay, that's a 7,500 CU 1,500 RU bank. Okay, so all right, safe to say then Melody is something of a newcomer to the game, and again, like I said, nothing wrong with that. But usually you want to spend your resources as you're making them, and this is why we see that there's a large army on the field for Nony, and there is not really much in the way of an army out here for Melody. 5 sand skimmers and 6 blast drones. Actually, no, there are a few sand skimmers at home as well, but usually at this stage in the game you'd want to have spent a little more. If we look at the tech here, Honor Guard Cruiser is coming up, so okay, there go the blast drones, and they are gonna trade for a load of LAVs, which is not terrible. That's like literally the only part of this army they were going to take out, so that's fine. And now Melody sees the 5 assault cruisers, and honestly, unless you've got something really sneaky up your sleeve, based on Melody's position in this game right now, seeing 5 assault cruisers this close to your base that is a tempting moment to GG out, because these are very strong units, and there really isn't that much that Melody has to deflect those. So here come the interceptors, and they're going to have a bash. They might be able to do some good, we'll see. I actually can't remember if assault cruisers have anti-air or not. I feel like they have 1 missile launcher. Let's take a look and see what happens here. Yeah, they do. So these interceptors are actually going to go down. And with them, Melody's hopes in this game. So, again, I'm going to switch to forensic casting mode now, because this should be over, barring a crazy something or other. Yeah, what we saw here was just like a pretty standard macro, I mean, it's pretty like, yeah, pretty standard macro opening here from Melody, like production cruiser refinery mode, stuff like that. Nice macro plays, just need to spend that money. That's all. Just make sure that you're constantly producing units out of your production cruisers. If you have this much money, build more production cruisers. With the research, just like I mean, it's really up to you what you go for, but, you know, pick something and grab the upgrades for it. I mean, with an opening like this, like a sand skimmer opening is fine. Just, like, make a load of sand skimmers, get upgrades on them, see if you can get any value out in the field. Like, ways like this are, like, good builds to try when you're new at the game, and you're just kind of looking to explore your aggressive options and learn to sort of, like, the attacking on the map. So this game is basically over. I mean, there are 2 siege cruisers here, but again, barring a miracle, they ought not win. They ought to win against these assault cruisers. The 5th one's just been left behind over here. So, I wonder how many... Can I bring up resources? Yeah, both players are stacking a lot of resources, so this is definitely like a low-level game. And I have to say, like, yeah, the macro setup from both players, absolutely fine. But you've got to follow up on that by spending those resources. And I think if Melody and Nony, I think if you guys are watching, I think if you work on spending those resources, you will be in pretty good stead. If you can keep these numbers up in the top right, like much, much, much closer to 0, then you will be like 5 times the player that you've shown us in this game. And then, like, the more you get used to spending your money, the more you'll have units, and then the more you'll get used to, you know, managing units in different locations and adapting to the units that your opponent have, and like all those things that we love about RTS. You know, you'll, like, those skills will follow. So I guess for now, I would say spend your money. That's probably about it. So here we have a carrier taking like brutal amounts of fire. Assault cruisers pretty good at what they do, and that is going to be game. So. Alright, yeah, fair to say, a lower level cast, and, you know, for those of you out there who are hoping to have a look at the cutting edge of the top of the meta, this game, not going to be that, but, you know, this is part of the joy of casting unknown players, is that you never know what you're going to get. It makes it exciting for me, and also when you cast players like this who are clearly kind of, like, just beginning to learn and feel comfortable with the game, it's an opportunity for them to, like, have another perspective on their gameplay, and I absolutely don't mind giving out some tips or whatever. So, yeah, I will go ahead and cast another game after this one. So, thanks very much for watching. This for now is Magpie842 signing out, but of course, stay tuned, more coming soon.